Welcome to another video on DXO PHOTOLAB 8 combination with the FILMPACK 7 that is integrated in the software. And I want to be precise that this is sincerely not about the software itself, but the photos that I've taken in this beautiful Parisian city, that I had the chance to have just a normal walk and taking some photos of some big places, especially the Notre-Dame of Paris, which is actually taken before that it was destroyed by a fire. It exists now, it's still standing, however though it's not at the same as before. And then I had a nice walk around the Parisian city in the Louvre, and we in the near the Eiffel Tower and other significant locations. The beauty of the feeling of just walking without any purpose, or especially the responsibility in your head, on the River Seine and near the big monuments of Paris. It has some sort of feeling. I understand all the cliches though, the cliches of about the songs of Paris, and walking around Eiffel Tower next to the river, in the Louvre, the Mona Lisa, and the architecture. Sometimes if you don't look at it, if you are not there, it's hard to understand, and it might feel like a little bit too exaggerated, a little bit a cliche. I understand that sentiment too. Totally do understand. However, trust me, it's definitely not cliche. We can complain about the Parisian way of living, how the people react, but it's still Paris. I think that I wouldn't live there. I lived there for about a year and a half, but I think it's a nice place to visit and spend a good time with your friend, family, or just by yourself walking. Well, as long as you don't get mugged, obviously, because imagine that you're getting pickpocketed, or some nice dude just came over to ask you for quote unquote help. That didn't happen to me, but it's not impossible. And amazing is that when you were walking day or night, it changes dramatically by the lights or by the weather, whether it is snowing or it's raining or it's cloudy or it's a beautiful summer in southern part of the Europe. It changes dramatically, and trust me, every single one way or another, they all look beautiful in their own way. It's just hard to explain. What we're going to do in this tutorial, which is, again, I hate to use the word tutorial. It's about my travel and my photos that I'm just sitting down on a weekend and editing, and decided to post it on YouTube. So you will see how my process works in DXO PHOTOLAB 8, the newest version, and the FILMPACK. And I want to mention one particular thing though, which is that this has nothing to do with the noise reduction or sharpening or blah blah blah. Seriously, I couldn't care less about all that crap. This is more about the FILMPACK that is integrated in DXO PHOTOLAB, about the film look. And I'm a big fan of imperfect, grainy, black and white or sepia look. So we're going to use one of them in one of the image, and apply that to most of the image, pretty much the same formula. And then in the end, you will enjoy a nice little slideshow of all the images. So I'm not going to go through all the image I'm going to show you probably a little bit of tweaking here and there, but generally I will work on one image and apply the same theme on all of it. There are a lot of similar type of images, so I'm not going to use all of it probably. Who knows? We'll see. So I'm going to either apply preset, and there you have this FILMPACK already there available. So you have color, black and white, time machine, the black and white films, and color films. So you get to choose, you know, some sort of look. So black and white, when I say black and white, I would rather have, I don't know, monochrome. I really love this classic sepia vibe in photos. So if I go to color film, probably the cross-processed Fuji Superia or cross-processed Kodak Elite looks nice. It's kind of like a monochromish, not necessarily completely color. Or Adox is a beautiful, soft-looking, muted film. Otherwise, you know, you have your typical suspects like a Kodak, Kodachrome, or all the Fuji's film stocks. That I'm not really looking for it. However, though, one interesting is the time machine. Time machine, in my opinion, probably give you the film look. I sincerely believe that. So I'm going to go through 1980 bomb fills now, or between that or the bomb fills 2. However, it kind of crushes the, you know, it's bright, but it also crushes the highlight a little bit. In the film photography, generally your highlights tend to be a bit more controlled. You always struggle with the shadow. Here it seems to be quite the opposite. Or you have this Kimbei, 1980 Kimbei, or Kimbei 2. That's that. The Kimbei is my choice. Otherwise, Great Wall 2. Now, if you want to know exactly what is Kimbei, for example, or any of those, but the Kimbei, which is here, Kimbei 2, what is it? So I'm going to apply that first. And either, I think, if I go to color section and if I turn on the DXO FILMPACK time machine, it might be able to give me some idea about the Kimbei look, I believe, if I can manage to make it longer. So universal, aha, there you go. If I could, I cannot make it bigger though. I wish I could make it bigger. So Melis, you have this history to rifle 1995. So that's the centuries. I guess at the bottom you have all the artist vibe. For example, this one is the available 1902 Eiffel, the machine rendering. So I believe that was the time that they used to use this type of film to give you some kind of a color look, if I understand correctly. And if I remember, I used which one? I used the Kimbei, 1880 Kimbei. So 1880 Kimbei would be 1880 Kimbei. There you go, the public domain review. So Kimbei, I don't know who is he, but I'm going to be able to learn about it. So that's the beauty of the FILMPACK, that you learn a little bit about photography, not just slapping a look on it and without knowing the details behind the history. In 1881, after working for many years with the European photographers like Félix Beato and Baron Raymond von Stilfried as a photography colorist and assistant, the Japanese photographer Kusakabe Kimbei finally opened his own workshop in Brenton Dori quarter of Yokohama. He soon established himself as one of the most respected and successful Japanese photographers of his generation, opening another studio in Yokohama Honmachi Quarter in 18 89. And the selection here is from the collection held by the Getty, of course, in Los Angeles, focusing mostly on the work from the early part of Kimbei's career. So that's his style. So I don't know if he have anything that, so he's essentially a painter. So that's his way. No, wait a second. Not a painter. He still looks like a photography. So I kind of am confused with are they painting or are they photographs? So I'm going to go to another direction. Early photography. So he was a photographer. So there is another article by the Harvard. It takes time to load. So still the same type of history, but doesn't say much of his way of photography. But anyway, so they're not painting, they're actual photography taken by this gentleman, Kimbei. Why not look at the images of the person himself? So there you go, that's the guy. That's him. So Kusabe Kimbei. So that's the artist. So let's go back to our DXO, and that's his look. So if you compare his original work and his work here, really nothing to do, but it's understandable. You know, you're still trying to emulate his style on a modern day photography, so I doubt it will be exactly the same. However, if I could, I'm trying to take a look at a bigger image and try to, you know, emulate the same style. So if I can manage to open full screen viewer, let's see if I can manage to open it in a full screen viewer. So that's his way of photography. It's amazing that he managed to, like back in the day, the images, the photography used to be complicated in terms of the shutter speed. So he managed to keep everything still. But if you look at the background, something is moving very fast. So that's a real image. So obviously comparing with this one and that, it's much more warmer in my opinion, where you have a little bit of greenish or bluish tone. So we can fix on that. And what else is that the highlights are way down. It's really controlled, where my sky is blown out. What I can do though in that case, that I could turn on DXO smart lighting, see if it works, and I can turn down the highlight, turn down a little bit of the curve. Obviously no contrast, so there is no doubt about that. Again, lot less in terms of the highlight. Shadow, I will try to recover some shadow. That looks much closer to that. Now we get to the color, but we are looking at the overall contrast. And then probably I would expose slightly more. Then I'll get to the color. And in color, I would go to RGB white balance. And I'll go more to the warm direction. That may make it look, but you still have this greenish tint though, which is interesting because in RGB white balance, I don't have any kind of anything to control the tint. You know, it's quite obvious, isn't it? I don't understand at all. So I could probably work on the color mixer. So the color mixer, if I turn it on, probably, is there any way I could work on the red, more red, less red? Don't know. Probably not. Well, I don't know how I can bring on the red. Probably there is another solution, but that quite sucks though, because how about the DXO white gamut? No, it doesn't work. Right. Maybe I could work on making it a bit more warm, and that might make it look like this, and that's about it, I guess. That's about it. But there is a one thing, that is the selective tone in special effects. So you have the exposure, you have the selective tone, not the sorry, in the special effects you have the filter. So probably not this one, mauve or purplish blue, cyan, green, obviously not, yellow, probably not, pink, and slow it down quite a bit. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we are getting somewhere. I think it's a highlight that is actually doing a fantastic job in terms of the global overall flat look. That is not available in this one, but we are slowly getting there. However though, if I could add some vignetting is already on, blur is already on, probably a little bit of a soft focus, and slowly add the intensity that will diffuse the highlight globally though, so that would take me closer to this one. Not too much, just subtle, very subtle. And if I go back to my selective tone, if I reduce the black quite a bit, add a mid-tone, now we have something more interesting. Closer to this one, you will never be able to replicate exact thing, but we are close. Maybe I could add some more pink. So I'll progressively go up and up and up. Right. Now, what if I use it to everything? So first of all, the palettes, the view, show hide image browser, and then I will copy that and apply on the rest except the last one, and paste all correction setting. Global adjustment, I don't know what that means though. Aha, well, it's working. That's exactly what I'm supposed to do. So if I go back to original image of the artist, it's not exactly same. Being said, we have something pretty close. Let's take a look a little bit one at a time, and let's go to the NOTREDAME. Obviously, you know, go to the say. That's nice. Could be a bit more bright and pinkish, but I'm already happy with that. I would know. There's another one in a close from the distance. That's beautiful. This image alone is just beautiful. I could recover some shadow. Why not? You know, I have this option. So here I could recover some shadow. Otherwise I don't care about the highlight because it's supposed to be flat a little bit. This image is one of my favorite too. That's me trying to take a photo. That's my wife taking a photo of me. And that's, I think, still I think that all the images are taken with a smartphone. This is a smartphone images. Can you imagine that even the smartphone can take nice image? It's the memory that counts, in my opinion. It's always the memory that counts. Right, a little bit more shadow. Panorama. This is a beautiful panorama. My goodness, I think that's the money image. This is the image that we all want in our life, and I'm definitely going to print it, no doubt. Is there any way to print it directly from here though? There you go. And resolution 300 dpi, probably a little bit too much. It's a A4. I don't need that much dpi, just too much. Probably print quality draft, not necessary to abuse it. Print quality, paper quality, layout, advanced. Okay, say 72 dpi would be enough. Excuse me, my nose is kind of blocked. And then print. I don't know if it's connected. It is connected. So let it print for a while, and I'm going to put a pause. Even the photo was taken in black and white. I'm very happy about it, but thank you for the waiting. Now I'm pretty happy. Let's go over some images of Eiffel Tower. Nice. Now that looks sick. That looks just majestic. That looks beautiful. We're gonna go through the photo or the slideshow in a moment. I'm just quickly going through all the images that is need some minor tweaking, but seems to me they all look fantastic. You know, I'm very happy with them. They all look fantastic. You know, they are not exactly as it should be. I don't really care, but the images look just fine to me. So enjoy this little slideshow. I hope you like this video. If so, like and subscribe, donate some images, critique. I love some nice critique, so critique as much as possible. I would love to hear from you. Look after yourself, and bye bye.